Today on Downtown Now, we sit down with a local comedian to discuss the rising comedy scene in Bentonville.
A lot of my material comes from stuff that's actually taken place.
Then, get ready to feel motivated by Walmart's biggest hype man.
But it was just more for me internally, thinking about how I could fill a need for myself personally that would correlate to somebody else wanting it and needing it.
Next, another edition of Bentonville Bites. Let's go to Co-op Ramen.
This is our most popular bowl right here, spicy tortilla python.
And finally, check out this family-friendly creature who puts a smile on everyone's face.
And I just kept watching this beauty happen in front of me, and I'm like, this is a story.
You're watching Downtown Now, sponsored in part by Arkansas Federal Credit Union.
Welcome to Downtown Now. Aaron, we are in the thick of it, right in the middle of First Friday Festival of Nations here in downtown Bentonville, a fitting setting for Downtown Now, which is all about Bentonville.
We are all about Bentonville, Dana. We love telling stories about the people, places, and things that make this city special. And part of that history is really Walmart. Shareholders just wrapped up not too long ago. We got a chance to catch up with a leader who maybe likes Monday more than Fridays, even at First Friday, and we found proof on his social media pages.
Cedric Clark began his journey with Walmart in 2002, but over the last 2 years, he's found a social media passion for Monday. Yeah, that first day of the work week.
Every Monday, like giving somebody some motivational juice. You know, I like Mondays because by the end of the week, like you pretty much probably given it all, and it's this moment of really filling the cup back up.
In his role as Executive VP of Store Ops, Cedric is responsible for running operations at 4,700 stores and leading about 1.2 million store associates. Now, in the midst of that responsibility, Cedric also turns to LinkedIn to reach some additional associates. Many Mondays you can find Cedric on social media, delivering messages with humor and humility.
And I was just like, man, it would be a great place to really have an injection of positivity, insight, and you know, to be frank, it gives the world a bit of like, what is Walmart doing to make it the best place to work by helping their associates understand, you know, wow, you can have challenges and this is how you push through it, as well as these are things we can focus on to win. So it to me, whether it's, you know, you see a need, fill a need, but it was just more for me internally, thinking about how I could fill a need for myself personally that would correlate to somebody else wanting it and needing it.
Now, mixed in those social posts is a lot of fun.
Cedric, I want to bring up one particular video.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of music. I put Elvis on my Mount Rushmore.
Hey there, it's me, Elvis Castley here.
How hard was it for you to get into character?
Don't be blue. Let's get motivated.
Do a motivational Monday fully donned as the king of rock and roll.
Man, it wasn't that hard, but I'll be honest, I did have to watch videos here, but it was fun, man.
How long did it take to grow the hair out like that?
Well, man, that was a wig.
Cedric Clark has found a pathway to positivity.
I respect the fact that each individual that shows up has showed up to work to do a great job. It just can't stop because I need it. And if I need it, I feel like our teams need it. It's definitely not staged by any means. I just like to have fun and I just love, you know, engaging with our team.
It's a social media journey that's showing no signs of slowing down.
Cedric, thanks so much. Cedric actually opened up the shareholder celebration there at Walmart Associate Week. Good job, Cedric.
Have you ever seen Norbert the Giraffe?
I certainly have. He likes to weave in and out of First Friday.
Yes, he's kind of a mainstay on Main Street, and we want to introduce you to the humans behind the Safari Cycler.
He's not your average giraffe. You won't see him at the zoo or on a safari, but chances are you've seen Norbert the Giraffe pedal right through downtown Bentonville.
You want to know how it's controlled?
Yeah, right? How?
Meet Jason Quayle, creator, caretaker, and the brains behind Norbert.
Norbert came about a few years ago when I got a tricycle from a thrift store.
A simple restoration project stretched into something more. A remote-controlled giraffe wearing a helmet on a tricycle because, well, why not?
I tested it, at events, and kids just loved it. He's the Pied Piper. Everybody just follows him. Well, he was talking to you and I are talking, so I didn't want him to run off on me. Oh, there he goes. I like that moment of like magic. People are like, what is going on? And then by the time I'm past them, they can't find me. And that's the trick, right? Is that there's gotta be a little bit of magic in the world, and if you wanna keep it magic, that's the best part.
That magic petals across the pages of Jason's new children's book, Norbert Goes on Safari.
The stories that I saw while driving around things like the First Fridays. In fact, if you're in the book, there's a round fountain in the illustrations, and so I kind of made sure the illustrations matched the Bentonville vibe, and I just kept watching this beauty happen in front of me, and I'm like, this is a story.
Supported every step of the way by his trusty sidekick, Lady Sparkle Farts, played by Jason's wife, Jeannie. Jason says he has more Norbert books on the way.
I just want to see people smile. There's not enough of that in this world to just have something just out of the ordinary making somebody smile. There's just not enough of that for me, so I thought I'd just bring it to them.
And he'll continue popping up and pedaling around downtown events, sharing the joy of the unexpected and a little magic around every corner, including right here on the Bentonville Square.
And Aaron, you can find Norbert Goes on Safari on Walmart.com or any other online retailer.
Here at Festival of Nations, we have got some great things going, including introducing you to an emerging brand. Del Real Foods is here on the Bentonville Square. We have got a ton of great restaurants in downtown Bentonville, including one of our favorites that has to do with noodle slurping.
If you like to dive into noodles, we're about to take you to Co-op.
All right, Chef, we start with the cheers. So,
Yeah.
cheers. We are here at Co-op, guys. Chef, kind of walk us through what we've got here. And really, in Bentonville, what we're seeing is an inspiration behind nearly every dish that's made. Talk to me about some inspiration that you see here as folks walk in to try out this ramen.
We want to kind of stick to our goal, which is Ozark ramen.
Okay.
But
well,
also,
I'm going to dig in while you talk about that.
Yeah, go ahead. And also not stray too far from traditional Japanese. So these are three of our more popular bowls. Right here we have the spicy tori python, tonkotsu shoyu, and the vegan miso. I think the perfect ramen is just, obviously you've got to have a good noodle. We get our noodles from Sun, a big in the noodle game. And then the broth. We worked for about 2 years on these broths before we ever even opened the doors to sell any.
For a chef, when you make something back there and you come here and everyone's diving in, they're talking, they're enjoying the food, how special is that for you?
It's really nice to, especially having the open kitchen,
yeah,
to be able to look out and see people enjoy the food is, it's a big part of why I like doing this.
I've not had a ramen that has had chicken this good in it. What is the secret behind this? Because it's so good, it's so crunchy.
So we marinated it in buttermilk and some spices for about a day. And then our dredge is half AP flour, half corn flakes. But yeah, that's basically it. So this is our most popular bowl right here, spicy tori python. Gets chili oil, creamy chicken broth, bean sprouts, green onion, our famous fried chicken, and an egg.
Bentonville has been pretty special for you.
Yeah. Having the Momentary over here has been really nice for us. The summers are kind of a slow point for us, but having those shows that they do over there, it really keeps us going during the slow months.
We love having it here. If If someone's here for the first time, what's the order that's the go-to, I've got to have this?
For me, myself, I would go with the cucumber and the spicy toro pie top.
I get this every time.
That's it? That's the go-to?
That
the
and
way
some
to go.
edamame in the front end.
A lot of people won't even do anything else. They just come in for that.
Okay, well, if you said that, I'm gonna get more chicken, as you said that. Chef, thank you so much for taking the time. Kyle, you want to jump in here?
Come on,
This is
Kyle.
how we end this segment, Chef. So I had to get some
Fried
chicken
chicken's
before he
almost
gets
gone,
in there.
Kyle.
I just want to have
You gotta
Kyle,
jump in there.
Kyle, try to get some of these noodles.
Yeah, I want to see if you can do better with any of the noodles. We can't. This is the most difficult thing on the planet.
So when I go, you want to get a good slurp, and that'll cool the broth down because it's hot.
Yeah.
I mean, we send it out hot as possible.
All right, Kyle, do that.
Here, I didn't use these, so go to town. Do you know? I'm the only one that doesn't use chopsticks, and I'm the oldest among us.
Maybe I'm not. Okay, here we go.
It's hard to get that slurp without
It's the perfect way to end Bentonville
dripping
Bites.
off there.
That's it. Chef, thanks.
Nothing like great food in the greatest city in all of America. We love Co-op, and I like to eat.
You do.
Yeah, I do.
Aaron, from big laughs to big thoughts about comedy, community, and culture. We sat down with Raj Suresh at Botanical. That's next in our downtown conversation. Welcome back. A chance open mic night launched Raj Suresh into the world of comedy, and co-owning a business brings him every day to the heart of downtown Bentonville. Take a look at our downtown conversation.
Hey, Ma, I'm a performer. We believe the opposite of what you say happens. So you don't say good luck, you say break a leg. And she's like, all right, I'll get it next time. And next time, she called me. She goes, hey, Raj, tonight, break your leg. I was like, that ain't it. That's not the thing.
You told me just a second ago that you're coming up on 10 years as a comedian, and that all started at a chance open mic night.
Right.
How does that happen?
I was at, I think it was called Springfest down in Fayetteville with a buddy of mine. We'd gone and played tennis and ended up having a couple beers afterwards, and just like walked down into an open mic, and then we had a couple more beers, and then I ended up on stage, and I've been at it 10 years now. So got very drunk and accidentally did an open mic.
So liquid courage helped in that situation.
And now I'm co-owner of a bar, so I think it's kind of, exactly.
Do you create jokes based on real situations? And I want to tell you, I'm kind of terrified of hanging out with a comedian because I always think I'm going to end up as like the butt of a joke somewhere down the line.
It's rare. That happens a lot. Like I have, just a lot of my material comes from stuff that's actually taken place. Like my dad and I, when I first shaved my head, I was scared to do it, so he's like, I'll do it with you, and then I did it, and then he's like, yeah, I'm not doing that. So that's a real thing that happened. But a bunch of it, like especially in my last hour, is just all real. And I tend to find that that's actually a really good way of safeguarding against having material stolen. It's just so specific to something that happened in your life that it's hard to A, have it stolen, and B, also even by accident write a joke that's similar to another comedian's sort of parallel thinking occurring. So
I told you about living in Arkansas. It's super interesting. When I first moved there, I had a buddy named James. I used to live in Jersey. Jersey sucks. My buddy James, he's like, what town are you going to live in? And I was like, I don't know. And he's like, all right, well, go look at the Facebook page for the police department of the city that you're thinking about living in, and look at what crimes they're investigating. And that's why I chose not to live in a town called Springdale, Arkansas, which is a lot like the east side of Cleveland. And that's why I also chose to live in a place called Bentonville, which is a lot like Bay Village.
So you're in Bentonville. You came to Bentonville in 2013. You've been back and forth a little bit. But you can see Bentonville and Northwest Arkansas threaded through your comedy.
Sure.
How does it inspire you? How can you poke fun at it a little bit?
I mean, this is, we're in the very center of the country. While Bentonville's an increasingly Indian town, at least 10 years ago, it wasn't quite so. And so for me, like I come from overseas, and looking at what I think Americans in a more sort of homogenous society like Bentonville, what they prize and cherish is funny to me, because I would never think of those things. Like lawn care is
Yes.
like a really big deal to most Americans.
Yeah.
And like me and the Indian guys in the neighborhood are like, yeah, just we're not doing that. we're not
You
interested.
need to go meet my dad and
Yeah.
his zoysia grass that he talks about endlessly.
Yeah, like I'm happy to like, you know, my neighbors, some of them like know the difference between different types of grass,
Yeah.
but they don't know if I'm like Indian or Pakistani. And that's like, I feel like that's an easier thing to identify. So when they start to figure that out, I'll do the lawn care. But for now, like, I was gone to New York long enough that I had to hire a guy because like I started getting like complaints from people, and I was
Can't
like, okay.
let that grass grow.
No, it started to look like the field from Gladiator. You know what I'm talking about? Where it's just like wheat and he's walking his hands through it. That's what my backyard looked like at one point.
English is just a funny language, right? Especially when you're talking about finances and stuff. None of it makes any sense. Like when I first got here, people would tell me, like, they were like, oh, you have outstanding debt. And I was like, thank you. And it's not a... That's not a compliment. Years later, I would start to run a business. They're like, oh, this is gross profit. I'm like, and they're like, no, that's a good thing.
How can we support local comedy?
Yeah.
So that we're not, you know, we bring in
Sure.
comedians, but how do we also nurture the comedians that are here and support them?
I mean, there's a stack of shows that's always happening. If you search like Eventbrite or 3Common or any of the, even on Google, it'll just kind of get listed.
Yeah.
There's shows happening all the time. There's open mics that take place, I think, every Wednesday at the old Bentley's location at the Crown. So that's a lot of fun. And then I occasionally put shows on as well. So yeah, it's fun.
And people can watch Break the Leg,
That's right.
which I did also watch this morning as I was doing
Oh,
my
did you?
homework.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool,
and I want
nice.
you to tell the story behind that because everyone has, you know, a mom that maybe doesn't
Yeah.
quite get the right saying.
Right,
Your
yeah.
mom told you to not just break
So-
the leg, maybe.
Yeah, so my mom, I guess the superstition is that whatever you say, the opposite happens.
Yeah.
And so you're not supposed to say good luck to performers. So I told my mom, you're supposed to say break a leg. And then the next time I had a show, she was like, okay, tonight break your leg. And I was like, that's not the right saying. And so she's like, I'll get it next time. And then the second time she called me up and spoke to me like I was the Karate Kid. And she was like, tonight break the leg. And then my dad was like, tell him to break both of his legs. I'm like, you guys aren't getting this. This is...
Is that helping?
Yeah, my mom is very funny, but it's like really dry wit, and that's kind of the women in my family are kind of known for that. And my dad's side of the family is very, they're like really goofy bunch of guys. So yeah, I get both sides.
You got a good combination to
Yeah.
make a comedian.
Right.
I want to talk about this beautiful bar that people
Yeah.
can visit here in downtown Bentonville.
Yeah.
And you were showing me some artwork that really you kind of used as inspiration. But if someone's never been to Botanical,
Yeah.
you're part owner
Yeah.
in this with two of your friends.
Right.
What can they find? What can they experience? You guys always have cool events going
Yeah.
on here.
Yeah. So tons of like live plants. Everything in here is real. We show a bunch of soccer and international sport. The actual assortment, because I'm from India, Alan is from the UK, and then Alex is like a mix, but he originally from Micronesia, a little island called Yap, and then Michigan before this. But so we have international backgrounds, and that's reflected in the assortment. So a lot of international wine and beer, and cocktails, but we use sake as a base instead of liquor. Nice little dog run in the back, and then obviously tons and tons of events. So
I'm looking behind Raj. There's a big garage door.
Yeah.
The sun's pouring in. You've got just beautiful ambiance in here. So
Yeah.
I hope people come and visit. How can they watch Break the Leg?
Break the Leg. It's on Tubi for free, but if you want to buy it, you can buy it on like Amazon Prime, Apple TV Plus, Google Play Store, I think, all of them, and YouTube TV. So it's out there. Yeah, go watch it. And I think I'm going to shoot another special a little bit later this year.
Here
So
in
we'll
Bentonville
see.
or somewhere else?
I don't know yet. I've looked at 2 or 3 spaces, but I want to make it really small, intimate, and kind of politically focused.
Yeah.
And just, yeah, we'll see how it plays out, but it's tentatively called The Sparrow.
Raj, thanks for
Thanks for
inviting
coming
me
in.
into your awesome bar.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers.
And you need to listen to Raj's comedy album, Break the Leg. You can find it on Spotify. After the break, we're going to bring you right back here to the sights and sounds of First Friday Festival of Nations.
Welcome back to downtown Bentonville. We're celebrating the Festival of Nations. Dana, did you know before I was here, I was in Chicago, Illinois?
I have heard that a few times.
Yeah, I know. I don't know if anybody knows that. Enjoy the different cultures that we have here in Bentonville, because that is what makes us great, is all the different cultures here in Bentonville.
That was the sights and sounds of Festival of Nations here in downtown Bentonville. A beautiful sight, a beautiful event for the community. You want to know about more of our events? We have a new website to check out.
Gotta check it out. Absolutely. It's downtownbentonville.org. For Dana, I am Aaron. We will see you next time as we continue to tell stories all about our great little town.